I think that my father deserves this Distinguished Alumni Award because I have no idea. Yeah. Mom, why does he deserve the award?
Hugh was chosen for this award because of how much he cares deeply about everything. People in the community, people outside of the community, just everything in general.
I'd of course like to take the opportunity to congratulate him on the Distinguished Hippopotamus Award. So if that's close to what he's or disgruntled hippopotamus or whatever it is.
He's probably almost cost me my life a couple of times. He has almost cost me my marriage a couple of times.
Oh no! There was these 3 cement steps, and Huey thought, Teresa, let's jump up high. So we jumped off these steps, and I stubbed my toe and went crying, and Aunt Susan and my mother and Granny are in the back, and we got reprimanded that we should not be doing that, but I thought it was a great idea because Huey said do it.
The smartest person around was my mother. She hired a nurse for me for about a week because he was born the end of April, and for some reason that particular year had the hottest spring on record in the past 500 years. But my best friend's mother had knit this beautiful white wool set for me to bring him home from the hospital in. It had the matching booties, it had the white cap, everything. So the day came to take him home. It was hot, but I thought, this is what she's made, this is what it's for, we're taking him home from the hospital. So we go to get in the car, and well, do we roll the windows down? Are they allowed to have wind on them? I mean, do they get fresh air? I don't know what to do with this baby. So we get in the car and we come home. No, we stopped at Huey's sister's, and she should have told us, but she didn't tell us that the child looked like a boiled lobster, a 9-pound boiled lobster. But when we got home, the nurse was there waiting. First thing she did was take that baby out of my arms and undress him, and she said, honey, this is not the way you treat a baby. So she tried to teach me in about 5 minutes. I'm just surprised he still survived intact, but he's here, and thank goodness.
Little Huey and my mother had some kind of special thing. I don't know why. When they were babies, she would call, this is going to sound so stupid, that she would look at little Huey and say, hey, Mr. Eyeball, and he would look at her, and they had this little joke between Mr. Eyeball. They had this special little bond between them, and there was just something special about little Huey that my mom loved, and I know that she felt that he just is special in his heart and a caring, loving, caring person.
I've known Hugh somewhere between 35 and 40 years.
I've known Hugh probably since I joined Bank of Ocean City about 20 years ago.
We first, I guess, started dating in '94 and have just been together ever since. I look at him every day, don't regret a minute, and I never think, what if someone else? I always think, this is my soulmate, this is my person.
Hugh's been a great son. He's been very successful. He's volunteered to help people.
I think about 20 years ago when I joined the bank, it was about 80 million. This summer we hit about 720 million. You know, we brought a lot of good people in that allowed us to do a lot of great things for the community. You know, that bank, the one thing he firmly believes in is keeping it local and local decision making. Right. The bank is here to make local decisions for local people, and that's the key to our success.
It's so much fun to see kids graduate from school and do well.
Right.
And do well, in his case, in kind of the traditional role. In today's world, there's so many ways that you can excel and in a creative way.
Right.
Little Huey kind of followed the path and did it very, very well.
Congratulations on your award, and you know, thanks for all you do for everybody. And JL and Hugh both get Purple Hearts, but JL gets a better Purple Heart than Hugh for dealing with Todd and Hugh.
I think Hugh Cropper deserves this Distinguished Alumni Award because of everything he's done for the community. And I'm speaking on behalf of the Lower Shore Land Trust. Without Hugh's involvement, we would still be probably in an upstairs office building. with him, we've been able to leverage funding to purchase our own building and to build the capacity of our organization to do great conservation work.
He lives for fishing. I think if he could fish instead of being a lawyer, he would do that.
He is very passionate about the fishing and the hunting, and it's amazing though that to see someone so excited about something.
We got into deer hunting so much, I was addicted to it, that my wife said, I wish you would move out for 2 weeks of deer season so you and Huey could go play, and then when it's over with, come home.
The only place where his standards are really high is hunting and fishing.
Right.
That's the only thing he really cares about.
This whole legal thing's just a side gig, right?
Truly.
We went turkey hunting, and I had too much where I couldn't breathe with that face mask on, and he hollered at me, "Don't move!" Well, I moved and the turkey went off. We got in the truck, drove down the road. The turkey is out in the road. He jumps the ditch and stands out in the field. Hugh pulls over. I get out of the truck. I shoot the turkey. He runs over, grabs the turkey, runs back, jumps the ditch. His pants fall down, pulls him back up. We put the turkey in the truck, and off to his house we go. He says, well, while we're out, we might as well go drum fishing. Next thing I know, we end up in Cape Charles, Virginia.
There was no bait, and Dad had some fresh mullet in the refrigerator inside the bait shop, but the bait shop was locked up, other than one window. I guess Hugh was probably in his late 20s, early 30s, and
so he's a lot skinnier than.
Yeah, definitely a lot skinnier. And so the morning, Dad woke up and opened up the shop, and noticed that his booby trap, he had hooks hanging in the window and all kinds of stuff, and the window was always open because we had our live well pump pipe go through that window, and Hugh knew that. So he was getting to that fresh bait. He opened up that window and went on in, and there was a mud trail from the window around the cash register to the bait cooler and then back out.
Hugh was always out in the water cast to make sure his bait was right where he wanted it. Well, I turn around and I look towards the buggy, and he is standing there with nothing on but a pair of white tennis shoes, with a bottle of water rinsing himself off. At this time, a military helicopter comes down the beach with the door open, and the man's pointing out the window at the two of us. So it kind of, I was down with cranking in one of the reels, and I really wasn't. I don't know what was on that fellow's mind in that helicopter, but with Hugh Cropper in his white tennis shoes and nothing on with a bottle of water rinsing himself off, it was a little disturbing to me.
3 words to describe Hugh relative to his philanthropic endeavors, at least the ones I've been part of. Well, certainly dedication.
Bright, articulate, and very humorous.
He's very loyal.
Kind, giving, and honest.
Let's change my answer and say he's got guts, courage, and balls.
Caring, hardworking, and hard-headed.
Funny, loyal, and committed.
He really is a Renaissance kind of a guy. And there are a lot of outdoorsmen that he's on the par with, but they're not as good as lawyers. And there are a lot of good lawyers, but you know, they don't. He just has a lot of strengths.
Hugh won this award probably because who he is. He's generous. He's a true man. He's well deserved, I'm sure, of everything that he's accomplished in his life and back towards the school.
He's a generous member of the community who serves everyone. Whenever he's not with me, he's helping with the Lower Shore Land Trust, the hospital, the bank, and when he's not doing that, he's taking me fishing, taking my friends fishing, helping me with whatever I need, always there.
Our family is very close, and I know it would have meant a lot to Mom that he got nominated for this award. I'm sure her and Granny are looking down from heaven, seeing that little Huey's going to get this, and It definitely means a lot to the family. Huey is a wonderful person. He has certainly done a lot for the community.
And as Huey said, he's only made us proud. He's just the best. There's nothing that I would want more in a son than what he's given us.
Well, I consider him my son. I really do. Since we didn't have any children of our own, I consider him to be our son. Yeah. And I love him and his wife and the grandkids. My grandkids.
He's really active in the community. It seems like he's always like helping people out, always trying to do stuff for people. He's always talking to somebody, always like networking or just trying to helping someone out.
I think it's great he gets an award for being such a good fisherman and doing such a great job hunting. You know, this practicing law, I think, gets in the way of his real job fishing and hunting sometimes.
Granny took Ma and I and little Huey on a weekend trip down to Virginia. I don't remember what we saw, and I don't remember what restaurant it was, but I just remember little Huey wanted to order a duck, a full-size duck. And Granny and Ma said, no, you probably can't eat all that. No, I'm going to. I'm really hungry. So we just sat there at dinner and laughed at little Huey because he sat there and he was just eating this duck juice, was running all down his tie and all over his jacket. And we just sat there and laughed. I don't think I ate too much. I was too busy watching Huey eat.
We were in a box and he had to have a heater. It was cold. Next thing I know, my pant leg's on fire.
He went into the bait and tackle shop and he was picking up some gear, and JL had just been on the cover of Coastal Fisherman in what she called an old bikini from high school. And, you know, honestly, it must have been through the dryer 500 times because this thing had shrunk. And he says, Hugh says to the Billy Bob behind the counter, he said, you see JL in the Coastal Fisherman? He said, see it, I cut it up and put it in my wallet. And then, of course, who tells that story? Hugh tells the story.
I would not want to be with anyone else. And no one can hold a candle to him.
He's worked very hard so that I can be in the position that I'm in. He's sacrificed kind of spending time with the family so that he can work harder so that I can go to an amazing school and pursue the opportunities that I want to pursue.
Well, it's a well-deserved honor, and I'm so glad that he got it. And I love him, and I'll always love him, and the family. He
always includes us in Thanksgiving dinner. He includes you in Easter dinner. He wants to make sure that, you know, he's surrounded by his friends and family, and you couldn't ask for a better dude.
Dad, I love you. You're a role model for me. You're a role model for everyone I know. If everyone does a little of what you do, I'm sure they'll succeed. I'm sure I'll succeed.
I'm very thankful to have Hugh Cropper as a friend.
Helped us out with some very good times and some very bad times. So, yeah, very good friend.
He truly cares about the people that he's representing. He truly cares about the people on the other side of the table, and he wants things to be fair for everybody all the way around. Yeah. And he believes everybody's time is important.
Dad, I love you.